So, Pharrell fans, you got Shep, you got Mafia, the better-looking guy on the right, of course. He's bigger, so I have to say that. Pharrell, we miss you, but we're going to get to the MLB Playoffs. I know the Pirates not in it has to be disappointing. We are, of course, going to get to the Chicago Cubs. We're going to talk about the other three series. Mafia, so far, what has been the story for you in these MLB Playoffs?
For me, obviously, it's been the Cubs. I mean, you bring them up. This is a team we talked about yesterday. They just smashed the ball, and they do it again today. They had 6 home runs the game before this one. They have a couple more to just knock the Cardinals out. The 100-win team, the dynasty essentially of the NL, always in the NL Championship Series. Not this year. The Cubbies are there. The little brothers have stepped up, knocked Big Brother down, put him in his place, and they did it in emphatic fashion. I mean, they came out scoring runs early, and then even when St. Louis came back and tied this game up later on, they just go out and put their stamp on it, hitting home run. I mean, they had a home run that's so far still on the top of the scoreboard.
Yeah.
That's how bad they were hitting the ball against St. Louis. So they move on. They've obviously been the big story so far for me. I mean, the Astros are nice, good young team, but the Cubs with 106 years of being cursed and not winning, that's the bigger story to me.
Sure. Now we have 3 Game 5s. It's going to be excellent baseball. Sorry about your Mets, but Game 5 is Game 5. Who do you have in the 3 series?
Well, for the Mets, it's a tough one. Going against Greinke, he is, of course, a great pitcher. I mean, they got him for a couple runs early in that game, Game 2. Should have won that Game 2 if you don't have the whole Utley slide just making everything unravel.
Yeah, tough break.
Tough break. I mean, DeGrom's coming in, though, full rest. The kid's young, so you don't know what you're getting fully. But that first game, even more pressure. Well, not more pressure, but it was a lot of pressure on him for a young guy in his career. Came out and had the best game of his career with those 13 strikeouts. Full rest, he's ready to go. I like him. I like the Mets offense more than the Dodgers, but you never know. It's a toss-up for them with Greinke on the mound. A guy like that can really shut you down, as he's done to many people in the past. I'm still going to go with the Mets with the slight edge because I'm going to go with my heart a little bit.
Of course.
Those other Game 5s, Toronto, the way they've come back, I have to think that they have momentum. I mean, I know Gallardo is the better start for Texas. I know Stroman is the better start for Toronto in their situation. It's going to be a great matchup back and forth. I know Toronto struggled at home to start this playoff series, but winning those 2 games in Texas, they have to be feeling really good right now. I'm going to take them to win the Game 5 and move on as another feel-good story in the playoffs because we have, we're full of those right now.
Yep.
Kansas City, Houston. You would think that Kansas City coming back with that 5-run inning and just smacking Houston in the mouth when they thought they had the series wrapped up, when they thought they were moving on to the championship series, and playing the winner of that Toronto and Texas matchup, that would hurt them, that would take away their heart, that would just make them, crawl up and go into a shell and not come out for this game like they should. But to me, a lot of people have said it, and I agree with it. They're young and dumb. They're not even supposed to be there at all.
Yeah.
So I don't think this affects them. I think they go out there, they hit the ball, they get it done, and they beat the darling from last year, Kansas City, to ascend as one of the darlings of this year.
Sure, and I'll touch on the Cubs later as we move and progress because they are going to be the story either in the ALCS or the NLCS. As far as the Blue Jays, it's just their time. That's what it comes down to. Nobody saw them winning after they gave those games up, and they're back at a Game 5 at home. The history, 93.
Such a loaded lineup, too.
Oh, you got that right. And obviously, Tulo finally showing some signs of being back. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's the reason you trade for him.
Absolutely. Rockies fans putting up their hands saying, where was this the last 3 years? Now, also, when it comes to the Astros, this reminds me of 2011 and 86. I know you were just 1 year old. The Mets in 86, once they won that Game 6, they were not going to acquiesce that game to the Red Sox in Game 7.
Right.
Now, you take the Cardinals in 2011. Once they won that Game 6, they were going to find a way to beat the Rangers in 7. It's the exact same thing with the Royals and the Astros. The Astros had them. They let it go. You just don't bounce back from that at this point. I know they're young and dumb, but they're not that dumb. And then, of course, you talk about the other series, the Cardinals, right? We know about the Cubs. And to me, the other Game 5, I would have to say, it's going to be close, but I have to go with the Dodgers. I hate to say that.
Oof.
Only because it's a similar situation. You got to go momentum in Game 5. Greinke at home, this is his time. An ERA that low is an ERA for that specific reason. It's like the second lowest since Bob Gibson. I don't know the exact statistics, but we're going to talk about that next time because Bob Gibson is the only hero right now going for St. Louis. They lose again. Anyways, Pharrell, we miss you. You're going to be back soon. Love talking with my man Mafia. Pharrell fans, you guys are the best. We'll see you tomorrow.